Hey, sweet.
Hey, Savories.
I'm Alyssa.
I'm AJ.
And this is the
Sweet or Savory Podcast.
Without love, life is like a without love.
Life is rock and roll without the drama. Baby, I'll be yours forever, 'cause I never wanna be. Sorry.
Wanna be.
No, you say up. Never wanna be
without love.
Sorry, our voices are a little rough today.
It's literally 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah, it's 9:40. We had a crazy weekend. We were at our parents' house, at Alyssa's parents' house.
My parents' house.
My in-laws.
Because my parents are currently on vacation.
Yeah.
So someone had to take care of the dogs and
the
grandma.
dogs and grandma.
So we were there, and now we're back home.
Now we're back home.
In our stew, and we need to do the pod because it needs to go up tomorrow.
It feels really good to be back home. And yeah, what's been up lately, all?
A lot of things. You talking to me? You talking to them?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to them. Whatever.
What's been up lately? Okay, what we've been into lately? A lot of things. One of the reasons why I started singing that song is because one of those things is sitting right in front of me.
It's a labubu.
Labubu, labu, 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 labu.
Yeah, I know it's
Labu,
a trend,
labu.
y'all. So
I was a hater at first. I'm not gonna lie.
Alyssa was a hater. I think a lot of people are haters. Misu, don't chew that cardboard box.
That's Devin's.
That's Devin's.
Devin's gonna be pissed.
Okay, babe, tell them how you got into Labubus.
Okay, yeah, get her and put her in the crate. I was once a hater of Labubus because I think, first of all, it stemmed from I don't like collections, honestly. I don't like collecting things. I mean, I do have collections of things that are normal, like clothes and matcha tins.
You do have a little bit of
polish,
collections, but not
collections
toys,
that
I
are
guess?
toys or things that are not necessarily needed.
Sure. Yeah,
I have
it's
makeup,
a luxury.
but I accumulate it. Anyway, I was a hater at first, but now I get the hype, the labubu hype. And if you say you're ugly, I think your man is ugly, and I didn't say anything. So you can still be nice
She's
and let
talking
people
to her
have nice
Labubu.
things.
I know that's the thing. We know a lot of contrarian type friends who.
Oh, I can name 5 right now.
Oh my God! Like say,
I won't say it.
You know, the movie Wicked. Everyone's loving it. They're like, oh my God, am I the only one who
that
hasn't?
didn't
And I'm
watch
like,
Wicked yet. I must be the only one that didn't watch Wicked yet. Who cares? Nobody asked.
And then also, yeah. Oh my God,
Am I the
Labubus are
only
so
one that doesn't think Labubus are cute? No, obviously. Shut up though, because we don't care.
Not everyone's gonna like everything.
And not everyone likes you.
Oh shoot.
I'm spicy because it's 10. Sweet. Welcome to the Sweet or Spicy Podcast.
Ooh,
we should
that's a
do night
spinoff.
episodes.
That's a spinoff.
This is a night
That's a
episode. This is a night episode, so we're allowed to get spicier because it's after 9 o'clock and the kids are asleep.
I mean, it might not be for them when they listen to it.
I know, but just play with me here. Sheesh. Way to crush my dreams.
So the Labubu craze has been all over the internet. I mean, it kind of is one of those things where, you know about it a little early, and I was probably a little later than, most people, but still, then you start seeing it on Good Morning America and all these things. I'm like, what is going on?
Can we explain where Labubu came from?
Yes, it is from a company called Pop Mart that they sell these plush keychains, but they also sell vinyl figures, and they've been around for a long time.
They sell a bunch of blind boxes. Collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Blind boxes are big right now.
Yep.
But Labubus became really popular. I mean, they were popular for a while in Asia. America's always like kind of late to what's cool. But they became really extra popular when Lisa from Blackpink started wearing them.
Yeah, on her purse or on her bag.
Yeah, and then people, you know how K-pop is. They start all the trends.
Yeah.
Everyone started wearing them. Then Kim Kardashian started wearing them and posting about them.
I believe that was last summer too that Lisa started it. So summer of 2024. Then you're right. Kim Kardashian, all these other celebrities, Rihanna started having them. And now they are just the talk of the town. They get sold out
The
every
talk
time
of
they
the
go
town.
out.
It's also popular because you can't just easily get them.
That's
I
right.
think that's another
demand.
thing. The demand is high because...
That is so true.
And then there's also lafufus, which I personally think are quite cute as well. I know...
Lafufus are fake labubus.
They're fake labubus, but the packaging looks real. So be careful.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a labubu, you might get a lafufu. And they're balding. Their eyes are all crooked. But we don't have lafufus in this house. We're legit. We're legit.
A lot of the times at these stores or whatever... A lot of them will tell you if it is a fake, like, the more expensive ones would be the real ones. Yeah. And then the cheaper ones are the ones that they'll call, knockoffs, lafufus. Then you could get them for cheaper. Retail, they are $27 now, around there. I think the Big Energy ones, the one that Alyssa has, if you are watching on the video, are a little more expensive. But
I don't know
resale... Why. They go for maybe $45 to like $90.
I've seen some $75.
I know. That's insane.
At the store the other day.
I got mine I got 3 boxes on StockX. That's how I got them for like us and I got one for Justine, got some for friends who come by who really want some. So yeah, it's a fun thing.
It's just, it's like Beanie Babies. It's like Barbies. It's just a fun thing, and I am loving the customization of it.
Sure,
so
you
people
could put clothes,
you can put clothes on it. You can match them with your outfits. You can put them on your bags. I love a bag charm. I've been having more bag charms. Just something to be a little more individual, not like everyone else. But everyone else is doing it, so I guess you're not really. But it's just a way of showing expression. And let me just say, if you are a hater on the labubu, do you know how many conversations I've sparked because of my labubu from strangers, from celebrities? I got a job interview from someone DMing me about a labubu. So it's just another thing that people have in common that you can talk to about.
Yeah, or someone who's curious. They like starting conversation. I wore mine the other day as well. Where was I the other day that I would be talking to a lot of people? VidCon. During VidCon. Everyone asking about my labubu and me talking to people. And actually one of those people, I was at a Twitch little party at VidCon, was Lil Tay. Do you know Lil Tay, the rapper?
I remember Lil Tay.
Yes.
Wait, the girl?
Yeah, the girl. Yeah. So we were watching the fireworks happen at Disneyland, like outside on this... where Twitch was throwing a party. We were all on the top balcony. And as soon as I went to the balcony to watch, people were like, oh my God, that labubu's so cute. And also on my labubu, I have the labubu has a backpack with a small labubu. I don't have
my backpack on.
And with a little small little lafufu on it. And Lil Tay literally grabbed it and was like, can I take a photo of it? And took a photo. I mean, it's crazy. And there's people up there on the Twitch party balcony who have millions of followers who are literally asking about this labubu, to take photos of this backpack and the labubu itself. So yeah, it's very cool. This is my little
oh my
lafufu.
God, it's so cute.
It's a little labubu charm.
It looks good for a lafufu though.
Yeah.
For a little mini.
For those who are just listening, it's just a mini little 1-inch lafufu.
It's the size of my thumb.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine that. It's the size
It's so
of my thumb.
cute.
It's very cute.
Misa, what are you doing over there? I hope she's not chewing anything.
No, she's not. She's curious though.
Okay.
I think people that hate on labubus also hate on Disney adults.
I could see that.
And
it's just something that brings people joy.
Yeah, stop being a hater. Hey, if you're hating, let's take a moment and breathe. And also, let's look inside. Is your inner child hurting? Is she okay? Is he okay? It's okay to like things that are popular. It really is. You don't have to hate on everything.
That's the thing. When things are a trend, people just is kind of like the Switch 2 right now. That's getting a lot of hate from people.
TikTok got a lot of hate in the very beginning, remember? People were like, I don't know, I'm too old for TikTok. No, you're not. There's grandmas on there. So, Grandma Droniak, do you follow her? She's making millions of dollars. So, keep being a hater and keep
being a hater.
And keep living your small life. I'm such a hater right now.
That's the thing.
I'm being a hater on the haters.
I hate when people hate on things that clearly bring people joy. Yeah. And that's... Speaking of that.
I was guilty.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that.
For Labubus?
No.
For?
Love Island.
Ooh.
I was a hater for a few minutes, but I wasn't a true hater because I was actually just telling people that it was really hard for me to get into it. Yeah. And I didn't understand why I couldn't get into it as someone who loves trash television, reality TV, everything about it. Why wasn't I getting into Love Island the way that I got into Bachelor, the way that I got into Love is Blind?
Let me tell you why.
Why?
And we discussed this, obviously, but let
why?
me tell you why. I think that shows like Love Island and a lot of shows on Netflix, like Too Hot to Handle, things like that, are kind of done too real time for you. Because when The Bachelor comes out, it is already vetted and produced months in advance. They're finding the juiciest, most interesting storyline, so they can hook viewers like you in, and you could follow that journey that they are actually curating for you. Whereas Love Island and Too Hot to Handle, things are just kind of happening around the villa, and it's almost like watching streamers. You know,
kind of like Big Brother. Similar,
it's kind of like a Big Brother, which is essentially, you know, streamers these days. They're just streaming their lives, and you're just curious. Like, people who are used to watching that kind of content will just... they'll make the storylines for themselves, you know, which is something I love about Love Island. Everyone has their kind of theories about what's going on. Whereas Bachelor, it kind of spoon feeds it to you, to be honest. Yeah. Which is fine because you don't want to think too much when you're watching trash reality TV.
That's the thing. When I watch reality TV, it's to turn the brain off. It's while I'm painting my nails. It's while I'm eating dinner. It's while I'm doing something where I'm not really tuned in, but I still know what's going on. So with Love Island, I felt like in the beginning, up until maybe like episode 6 or 7, I kept trying to figure out when things were going to start happening.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Huda crash out was my favorite part. And I know everyone's still kind of hating on her. Yeah. But for me, that got me in. When I started to see her crash out, I was like, okay, we're getting some juice, we're getting some tea. But then I now understand there's a different dynamic on Love Island. You're not getting the typical storyline where there's a villain, where there's a hero, where there's all of that. You're actually getting individual stories more. Yeah. And that's why Huda was so toxic when she was crashing out over Jeremiah, because it was bringing down the energy in the house.
Oh, the whole house.
And not letting them get to their full stories.
Right. So, yeah, clearly for someone who's not watching Love Island, you're just very confused. But essentially there was, you know, one person who is kind of bringing the energy down and still keeps getting rewarded by staying in the villa because, you know, the Islanders get voted off by the other fellow contestants, or America votes, you know, in real time. It's pretty crazy. But essentially, I think that it is a good show if you are into that kind of content. And I understand if people are not. Right now, I kind of got sucked in. And yeah, F Ace, love you, Jeremiah. And
I'm into it right now too. But I think I also am mostly into it because I like having the conversations about it. I like being in the know. I like seeing all the TikToks. I like...
yeah. The pop culture around is very cool.
Mm-hmm. I like things that are popular, and I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah, and I love the format of TV being weekly or daily, or like that everybody is watching.
It reminds me of just regular television back in the day when you would wait for an episode, watch it at the same time. Of course, you can still watch it later. Yeah. But it reminds me of that type of television.
Yeah, it's different from, what are the other Netflix shows? Like
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
They put it all out at once. And then Bachelor is similar though, because you're still getting weekly, episodes, but it's filmed so far in advance that, you feel like you'll know a lot of things already because
Unfortunately,
media.
spoilers and things like that can happen more on shows like The Bachelor because it's already happened. Oh, and Misu is giving Bean a little humpity hump.
Humpity hump.
Humpity hump.
Should we take a break and put them inside or something?
No, I think it's fine. Honestly, when I'm editing this, people don't really hear the dogs because I put a noise canceller on and everything.
Great.
But anyway, shout outs to our sister Justine because she got us into Love Island and is popping on Threads right now. So please give her a follow.
Oh my God, 1.2 likes per
1.2K
post.
likes per post.
Oh, sorry, no, 1.2. 1.2K, obviously.
I think her screen name on there is the same as her Instagram. So Justine Weenie.
Also, I have to give a shout out to my sister Lauren because she is a listener upset
that we didn't give her a shout out.
I'm sorry, Lauren, I forgot. Because she watches it kind of late.
Okay.
So she doesn't like watch it
right
away. She watches it kind of late. So I forgot. I just forgot because she's
yeah. That's true. No, Lauren's a quiet listener too. You know, she was in school and stuff. Congrats to our sister Lauren, to Alyssa's sister Lauren for graduating from UCLA. Her boyfriend Jackson as well. Also, congrats to your mom for retiring.
I know.
That's amazing.
She's retiring. Well, she's officially retired at the end of this month.
She was working for the county. I think she's retired in 3 days.
Yeah, a few days.
Or something like that.
Yep, that's right.
And
happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday. Wow.
Does Ryan even listen to this podcast?
I don't think so.
Really?
I'm sure he watches the clips and stuff.
Well, happy birthday, Ryan. I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. I don't take it personal when someone listens to the pod, but I do take it so personal in a good way when someone does watch it.
Oh, yeah. I know. I don't take it personal if you don't listen or watch.
But when people say, like, I listen to the pod.
When they listen, it really warms
Remember
my
when
heart.
Liza Soberano was like, I know. Well, we were like, oh, yeah, we have a podcast. And she was like, I know.
She's like, I know. Really?
That's cool.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, whenever people talk about our podcast, it makes me happy.
Yeah. So thanks to all who are listening to the podcast.
You never know who's listening.
So Labubus, Love Island. What else been going on?
We watched the movie The Materialists.
Ooh, The Materialists, which is also having a lot of TikTok debate right now.
Yeah, controversial takes.
If you are similar, well, there's another controversial take that Phil Wang from Wong Fu brought on. You saw? Because
let's talk about that.
Yeah, Materialists was written by Celine Song and directed by Celine Song, and that was her directorial debut, right? Past Lives, A24 film with Greta. What is her last name?
Gerwig?
No.
Oh wait. Sorry, you're talking about the
Asian
actor Greta. Why is Thunberg the first one?
It's not Lee, right?
I think it is Greta Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It feels like Asian basic
Greta
name.
Lee. Greta Lee?
I love Greta Lee.
Yeah, it's Greta Lee.
Greta Lee.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress.
And she was on Broadway as well. So her and I forgot the male actor's name, but that was a very serious serious contender in award seasons. It didn't win anything huge, but I think it was very critically acclaimed, which is amazing, especially for being an Asian-led cast, Asian writer, Asian director. Amazing. Celine Song's next big film, Materialists.
Right.
No Asians in the cast. It's just Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans. So that's another layer too. But it's kind of like, remember the director of Parasite? Bong Joon, who did Parasite, award-winning film, won the Oscar for Best Movie.
Bong Joon-ho.
Then doing his next project, and it's with, white actors leading. I don't know if that actually happened yet, but I remember him talking about it. Oh, Mickey 17, I think, was Bong Joon-ho.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Edward Pattinson, right?
That just came out this year.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing.
Wait, can you explain what the take was? Or
the take essentially was, should Celine Song's next movie, should that have had cast of Asian Americans or Asians?
So what is your take? What was Phil's take? I know what Phil's take is.
We'll be right back with the answer. Okay, so just to recap, Phil Wang was like, hey, Materialists doesn't have any Asians in the film, but someone like Celine Song, who now has this, because of past lives, has this opportunity to do another huge movie, which was Materialists. Should it have had Asian actors? And I don't think Phil had I think his summary was leading towards that it should have, but he took a poll on it, the audience and stuff. I'm kind of indifferent to it. I just think that, to me, if I was Celine Song and like someone like Chris Evans, Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal liked my script and wanted to be in it, I can do my next movie with Asian Americans, and also I, as Celine Song, am the Asian American who is at the helm. And I think that's amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
I agree.
You have thoughts?
Yes. I don't think she should do anything. I don't think she should be held to any standard of needing to do whatever, because this is only her second big film. I think she's probably also thinking about longevity and the more power she has when she makes a successful film. And those are three amazing actors and actress that, when you do a movie with them, there's so much opportunity, if that movie does well, for you to do so many other movies. So I don't think she necessarily needs to stick in the lane of doing only Asian films or have Asian people in her movies. I think that she can prove that over time with other pieces of work that she does. And her first movie, Past Lives, was also based on her life.
Her life, yeah.
So it was very personal to her. I think it's cool. I don't know if Materialist is completely different. I think it's cool that she gets to explore something outside of the Asian identity, and her, she already lives that experience as an Asian woman. So I don't think she owes anyone anything, honestly.
I agree with that. That's a great take, babe.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I hope for future that there are more opportunities.
Yeah, and I'm sure she has that in her mind.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know her personally, and I don't really know what the who her HODs are or like any of the below the line talent were, but I don't know. I'm just always rooting for Asians.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. Go Celine Song. Go see Materialist, y'all.
Yes, it was very good.
It was very good.
Very good. I won't spoil it because just in case. But
yeah, that's true. The discourse that's happening on TikTok is major spoilers. So maybe we'll give it a bit. It was a smaller marketed movie, so I feel like
A24.
Yep.
Anything A24 does, I'm a fan.
They're amazing movies. Mm-hmm. What's next on our agenda?
Next on our agenda, well, we were gonna actually segue to do a little dating theories throughout the years game.
Whoa.
Based on the Materialists.
Yeah. So tell me about the game.
Well, it's not really a game.
Well, just tell me about the...
Okay. Well, the Dakota Johnson, who's the main actress in The Materialists, was going through dating theories throughout the years.
Amazing.
And I'm going to read them to you, and you're going to say if you believe it or not, or maybe if it applies to us.
To us, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So number one is the olive theory.
Ooh, I know about the olive theory.
If you don't know what the olive theory is, it's when one person in the pairing, in the couple, hates olives and then the other person loves them. And if you match that, then that makes you soulmates.
A great couple.
And a great couple. And the origin is How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. That's funny. Our friend AJ Mendoza told us about this theory a long time ago when we were first dating. Mm-hmm. Probably within that first year, right?
Yes. We went to his show.
Yep.
And there were
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Right? Invincible or something like that. Yeah.
And there were olives. And we both
had them for the first time.
For the first time, probably in a long time. But we both didn't like olives.
Yeah. And I had not eaten olives like as a snack on charcuterie boards or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You had
no, same, yeah. And I before I used to be like, no, I hate olives, nasty.
So he was like, oh yeah, you need a test. If one of you likes it and the other doesn't, then you guys are made for each other.
Yeah.
You guys are a match.
So we both ate them.
I loved them.
And so did I.
So we were like, oh no.
We both love them. So that dispels the olive theory. But if you watch How I Met Your Mother, they actually proved it to be wrong in the end, because the couple that's together, Lily and I forgot his name now.
I didn't watch the show.
Followed the olive theory for the entire series, and it's revealed at the end that one of them actually did like olives. They just pretended not to because of the olive theory.
No way.
So it wasn't even, it's not even real, like
So
according to the origin.
Okay, but if that's you at home with your partner, that's awesome. All right, go ahead. Next one.
Number 2 is the taxi cab theory.
Oh, what's the taxi cab theory?
Men are like taxi cabs. When their light is on and they're ready to settle down, the next woman they date is it.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Can you elaborate that?
Wait, I'm confused too, because I thought it was... Wait, hold on.
Taxi cab, when the light is on.
Men are... Okay, its origin is from Sex and the City.
Okay.
Suggesting that men are like taxis. When they're ready for commitment, like turning on their available light, they'll settle down with whoever is available at that moment.
Oh, like a taxi cab. I see.
Regardless of how right that person will be. So it's basically saying that whenever they're ready, whoever is in front of them, they will settle for.
Interesting.
Do you believe that? Or what do you think? As a man.
I don't, because I think that I don't know that I was ready to quote unquote settle down when I first was dating you. But, you know, as time went by, I'm like, oh, this is the person. This is my person. You know what I mean? This feels right.
So it took me being the right person.
It took you being the right person for me to settle down. It was reverse. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I'm trying. I don't know. I honestly didn't.
Like you weren't ready to settle down. But
Yeah,
you
and I
made
didn't think that I was going to for a while, I thought.
You didn't think you were going to, or ever? Whoa.
No, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think that's correct.
Sometimes
what do you think about
Sometimes I do think it is.
Okay.
I don't think
for some people.
Maybe not necessarily for us. I don't know. But I think that sometimes they do. Like not just men. I think sometimes you do at a certain point settle for what is in front of you. I'm not saying we did that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think that when you get to a certain age, maybe you think that you need to be starting to get married and starting to have kids because you're following whatever the society's timing is.
Yeah.
And then you just start to believe that. I mean, I
can see that.
I'm thinking of certain couple. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not anyone specific in our lives, but I think that it could be true, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Men are like taxi cabs. Okay, that's an interesting theory.
I guess it's more. It's generally where it came from is more for men because they're saying that women don't settle.
Yeah.
As much as men do.
Okay.
But I think it's an everyone thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, next one is the rubber band theory.
Rubber band theory. What's the rubber band theory?
It's when a guy pulls away when things get too real, but if you give him space, he'll eventually snap back with more clarity.
Interesting.
And the origin is just popular dating,
relationship
books and such.
I think that probably is right. You know, when you're dating around and figuring it out. I think that anyone having space gives you clarity about, either coming back or it not being the right fit. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on it?
It's kind of like the saying, if you love him, let it go. And if it's meant to be, it'll come back.
I guess that's the rubber band theory.
Yeah, that seems like what it is. I don't know. I feel like not I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. I think.
Well, what about in our case? We didn't do that, really, did we?
I mean, we went through a little rough patch.
We went through some rough patches.
A little rough patch, but we still. I think what's more accurate is when you go through a rough patch or when you fight over, have any sort of conflict, and you figure out how to come back together. that's when you know that is the right person because you know how to get through hard things together.
Of course, yeah.
And you figure out how to communicate.
I love that, yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily letting someone go, but it's more of when you can figure out how to fight and deal with conflict. And maybe that does maybe a little bit mean you're willing to let things go. I don't know. But then you don't.
Right.
Come back.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah. That's my take on it. I don't know if that answered it.
Okay.
The next one is the invisible string theory.
Yes. Okay. I've heard a little bit about this. What is it?
It's that there's an invisible thread tying you to your person. No matter the time, distance, or chaos, you'll find your way back.
Yeah.
It's made popular by Taylor Swift.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Invisible string. She has that song. A lot of people do that at their weddings.
Yeah.
It's like spiritually. I've seen it before too on TikTok where it's like you've met before. Maybe that person's in the back of a picture that you're in when you were younger.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
And you were always meant to be together. Something was tying you together, invisible string. Do you believe it?
I would like to. I think. I would love if that were true.
But?
I don't know. I think that what about people who live on like the other side of the planet and things like that?
It's still an invisible string.
Right.
It's not, it doesn't mean you've met before. It just means you're connected by something.
Got it. That's something. Yeah. I think maybe for you and I too, we have a lot of mutual friends-ish kind of that we would have naturally all run into each other if we didn't meet where we met, you know? So yeah, I do believe that is true, but I don't know that I believe that it's true for everyone, I guess.
Someone has a tie to somebody
that's
meant to be their person.
Yeah, I think some people can just make it work and then they end up being life partners. And I think that's great. Yeah.
I don't know.
What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. It sounds really cute and it sounds nice. Yeah. But I don't know if I necessarily believe that. It kind of goes into the idea of soulmates.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah,
it's not in a part of it, but I wanted to talk about it too. Like, do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe there's a person for every person?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, I know. I sometimes think about, I don't know, some of my family members who are like, don't have that person, you know, like my older ones, you know, I'm just like, will they have that person? Or maybe their soulmate passed away, or it was someone that they couldn't hold on to, or maybe their soulmate was just like their best friend when they were younger and stuff. But I don't know that everybody ends up with their soulmates. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think so either.
Yeah. And maybe a lot of the soulmates too are like platonic.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think soulmates are always what's the opposite of platonic? Relationship? No. What's the opposite of platonic?
Romantic.
Oh God. I don't think soulmates necessarily are romantic.
Yeah.
I think your soulmate can be in a friendship too.
Right.
So do you believe in soulmates?
I do. I believe that we're soulmates.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time I wake up, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm meant to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe that in every universe we are together?
Yeah.
You do?
I don't know.
Be honest.
Well, now that you double asked, I think that you and I live such adventurous lives and can be adventurous in any timeline that we're in, any universe. You know what I mean? That it may not end up being us because of how, like, I feel lucky that
in this universe.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's more accurate. I think that I think you're my soulmate, but I don't agree. Again, I agree with you. I don't think that in every single universe, maybe we don't end up together.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm single forever in one. Or maybe I'm with a woman.
Oh?
I don't know. In another universe, not right now.
Yeah. In another life, I would be your girl. I love that. No, I do think, yeah. I think that you and I mean, we talk about it a lot. We're like, oh, we couldn't live with each other. Yeah.
Couldn't live with each other.
Or, sorry, we couldn't live without each other. We wouldn't be able to live without each other, especially in this universe. You know what I mean? But I think you are more than capable of, you know, being without me and living that life. It would be sad.
So sad.
It would be so sad.
So devastating. I would hate it. Wait, I wasn't done.
Yeah, keep going.
No, I wanted to know, what do you think about, so say after we die, where do we spend the rest of our eternity?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about someone that had more than one soulmate or more than one love. What happens then?
We'll find out right after this break.
Lot.
So obviously when you talk about multiple soulmates, I think about my mom.
That's what I was thinking.
Right away. Yeah. Right away. And I have heard how she talks about her first love, which is her first husband, who unfortunately passed away in a motorcycle accident here in the United States, which brought her to the United States. And yeah, she always talks about it, you know, with wide eyes, and when she talks about his family, she's very like thankful for their family, because for Jonathan's family, because they took care of her. So it feels very much like that first love type thing, and sounds like soulmate as well.
Really?
It does. And then obviously me living and being born from now my dad and my mom's relationship, someone she met after Jonathan, and her having 3 kids with him, my dad. And also the way that we went through that tragedy, and how she still talks to him today. That he was, I mean, you know, outside of my experience, a great man who loved his kids, loved his family, loved music. And she kind of talks about him like he is, or maybe the way I perceive it is that he's just like this legendary guy, and that she misses these moments with him. I'm trying to think of the last time she talked to me about him. I think she was listening to some jazz music or something like that. You know, and when someone's brought up with music or something like that, or some kind of memory, I also believe your soul is attached to that person too. But then I think about Pop, her current husband, Tito Angelo, and how she's having the most fun I've ever seen her have. She's been through very close calls, life and death, her being in the hospital, him being in the hospital recently, and how we got to attend their wedding, right? And be there. Tito Gel read her a poem that he wrote, and everyone was crying. Like, seeing that, I'm like, they are for sure soulmates. Because also Pop lost his wife, has 3 kids. My mom lost her husband, has 3 kids. Like, we live this kind of parallel life. And I'm like, there's no way y'all were not meant to be with each other as well.
I agree.
So the question was, you were asking,
like, who do we end up with in the afterlife? When you have a situation like that, where you've been in love multiple times and it ended not because you fell out of love with that person.
Well, I think about these graves that are being, I see people's parents are passing away around our age now, I feel. And I've seen the gravestone, the headstones, and there is a spot for the spouse. And I can't look at that without thinking about my mom and how, imagine if each of those husbands, her first husband, Jonathan, and then my dad, both had graves that had a spot for her. It's literally, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the headstones that say one last name on the top. And then on, like, say the bottom left is a space for the husband, and the bottom right is a space for the wife. And one of them is being written out, died whenever. And then the other one is just waiting for that person.
Empty.
It's empty. I mean, it has their name on it.
Oh, I didn't know you put your name on it already.
Yeah, I think so. I've seen that. And I'm just like, you can find love again. Like, my mom would be proof of it. You know what I mean? And I don't actually think, and I've talked to my therapist about this.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know that my dad is like necessarily waiting for my mom or anything like, or he's even waiting for us. I think that he has evolved into some non-human form that he is not even feeling the basic feeling. He has like probably eternal love for all of us, but I don't know that he is like seeing my mom and being like, oh, I'm hurt that you are with so-and-so and we won't spend the afterlife together. I think that maybe once we're up there, and I feel this more and more with my dad, that he would have no problem with, say, what's happening here on earth with his children. I mean, he would want the best for us, but like, I feel like he has surpassed any kind of human emotions that would make him like angry or sad or even happy. Like, I just feel like he is.
Those are human emotions.
Yes.
And it's not human.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm understanding it now.
So that is my thought on who do we end up with the afterlife. I think we probably just end up having a big...
It's not like a partner thing?
It's not a partner thing.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. And maybe I can really only see that clearly because of
like, do you go
the
back
loss.
to your families?
Right.
Not
Right.
just partner, but what about your family?
I know.
And they're like, wait for me up there, but what does it look like?
I'm sure ideally everyone probably wants and thinks that they are going to end up with like their own family. I mean, that's a big, please correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Chat.
When like Mormons, they believe that they'll have like a planet with their husband or wife and their kids, and they have their own planet, But I feel like the situation with my family, my dad, my mom, with her previous husbands who are also passed away, that almost can't be true.
Maybe it's more of like, yeah, no one has like a person up there, assuming we go up. And it's more of like you're connecting with people, but you don't belong to anyone.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, there's also the theory of past lives, and just not the movie, but
it's like
reincarnation.
Yeah, that's it. So I was always looking into it more in what people believe. It's different for every religion,
Right?
And
right.
also if there's non-religious and just spiritual. The non-religious belief overall is that who you end up with is more interpreted to who you're most spiritually connected to, not necessarily your legal spouse, but whoever is your truest bond on earth.
Whoa.
Will be your connected spirit in the afterlife. Doesn't say there's one or two, just says souls continue on.
That is for who? A non-denominational
spiritual belief.
Okay.
Join with the universe, reunited with loved ones, but
with
not
loved ones.
Yeah, but not not a legal spouse. It's your truest bond.
Wow.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and then there's different. It varies by like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism,
right.
Hinduism. Interesting.
My friend just told me about her theory of past lives because she had talked to a medium about why she has such this crazy fear of passing away during childbirth.
Oh.
Had this crazy fear, like, what do you call it when you have an irrational fear about it?
Mm-hmm.
But when she passed a certain age, she didn't feel that anymore. And then she talked to a medium, and the medium said someone who had your soul, or like your soul in another time, like during the medieval times or something like that, your soul died during childbirth at
That's crazy.
so-and-so at age X, right?
So that's why you feel.
And then so she at age X said she stopped feeling that fear and now wants to have kids. Like didn't want to have kids before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what you're saying is if you have certain feelings or fears, it's because a version or of your soul has experienced it already.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Yeah.
Does it also work the opposite way? If you feel and you've had visions of certain things happening to you, it's because either your past self experienced it or your future self.
What are we getting into?
I don't know. I think about that a lot too, especially in the shower. I'm like, if I feel like I'm a star, that must mean my future self is a star.
Ooh.
I've just been seeing a lot of that discourse on TikTok too. Like they're like, if you have ever had the feeling of feeling this certain way, it's because the universe is already working to make that version of you, or it already happened.
Yeah.
And that you're only feeling it because of that.
Right. Well,
I like that idea. I like it.
This is crazy. We're kind of getting into some deep territory.
Some little woo woo talk.
Some little nighttime talk.
Like nighttime chats.
It's like when you're, just up and delirious or whatever, or maybe you just smoked a joint or something and we're just talking about.
We didn't, but that's kind of where my mind is.
Do you feel like that we are super connected in that way in the afterlife? That we would go together in the afterlife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's like a romantic thing, like you said, but I think that we're definitely like connected.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, I mean, it's a romantic thing right now.
Well, yeah.
Duh.
But I'm just
we're
mean
married.
like in the afterlife.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
it's just
if it. I don't know now if I believe that it is a romantic thing that you end up with your partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we stay connected forever.
Yeah.
I hope so.
We are. I mean, you're the person who knows me the most, so.
Don't make me cry right now. It's 10:30 at night.
Wow. Okay. Well, is there another theory or is that?
No, there was more, but they're not as interesting. I like the idea of soulmates better.
We got into a pretty deep topic there.
Yeah. Oh, the only other one was, I don't think, these are not even theories. If they wanted to, they would.
Oh, okay.
That's dumb.
Yeah. That's
like duh.
Okay. If you're listening to this and you need to hear it, if they wanted to, they would.
Yeah.
Boom. Next.
And then Delulu is the Salulu. I think that's what Gen Z is saying these days.
Interesting.
But it's kind of what we already talked about. If you stay delusional long enough, you'll manifest your dream life or love.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, manifestation, all that stuff. Law of attraction.
Mm-hmm. I believe in manifestation.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's just putting energy out into what you want your life to look like.
Mm-hmm. And that goes with law of attraction as well.
Mm-hmm.
You just having that open energy or
it's the same thing with praying, I think.
Yeah.
I think manifesting and praying are very similar.
Yeah.
I think when you're manifesting, you're putting that energy towards more universe because maybe you don't know who you're talking to or whatever. And then praying, you're directly speaking to God.
Yeah.
But I think both of them are doing similar things.
Yeah, they're both sending very positive thoughts, which actually can become like atoms in the room. And
yeah, you were just telling me about how you were talking about this, right?
I was,
with your therapist? About how it's real?
Yeah, how prayer is real and positive thoughts and all that is real. There's like a study group.
Even if you're not religious.
Right.
I think even if you're not religious, like manifesting is praying too.
Yeah.
I think they kind of go hand in hand.
I know. And I'm sure that there are some there's some like Christians out there who actually don't yeah, they're like
no,
no,
don't
manifesting
manifest,
is
you
not
talk
of
to God.
Yeah.
I think you're almost doing similar things. It's just one person believes in God.
Yeah.
Or you can manifest and believe in God.
Yeah, duh. We do.
Yeah.
Well, one kind of basic study that relates to this is that the scientist was growing two plants in the same what are these called? The little
Pots, petri dish.
Yes, two cells or something like that. Let's just say they're plants. So one in one room and one in another room. Everything is the same exact temperature, all of that. In one room, the scientist is going in and yelling insults and bad things at this plant and just being rude to it and screaming at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into the other one and it's saying daily affirmations and it's giving positive energy and just, maybe praying over it. I don't know. Just being very positive.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Yeah, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
You're ugly.
And over the same amount of time, let's say 3 days, again, I'm kind of paraphrasing this study. One of the plants died. Clearly, it was the one that he's yelling negative things about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like a thing, like our bodies even. We talk about this with some of our friends who are going through hard times.
Your bodies start to...
If you're treating yourself and you're thinking that you are, if you're in that mindset, unlovable, yeah. You're saying all these bad things about yourself. Your
not
body...
beautiful.
Your body is 90% water, and you start those atoms and all that. Look, I'm not no guru.
Yeah, these are just things that we believe.
Yeah. And that the more positive you are around your body and you're also going out in nature and taking a walk and working out and all that stuff, your body will start being the best that it could be, opposed to you just kind of beating yourself up all day.
Yeah. I also think it's telling your brain to do things to your body. So even if you don't believe it fully, you can still trick your brain into thinking that. And so it's doing things and healing things that are going to make it better.
Yeah.
People have told me that about my affirmations to myself before I do like a dance class or something like that, just to tell yourself, you're great, you're amazing, you're a good dancer.
I love that.
Because it's tricking your brain in a positive way to make, instead of thinking like, I'm not going to get it, I don't know, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to be like, I'm scared, I'm not good, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then your body's going to be so tight and not relaxed enough to do the thing that you wanted to do, which is release.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We can all be a little kinder to ourselves. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also that energy is not just to you, it's everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
People that are around you also feel that too. So if you think about it that way, when you're putting more good, it's good for everyone.
It's good for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Nice.
That's all I had planned for the day.
No, I mean, we're kind of nearing the end of time anyway, but also for next time that we do a one-on-one or with a guest or whatever, we wanted to talk about nostalgic foods, things like that, things that kind of take you back. We wanted to talk about...
We were supposed to cover nostalgia because we stayed at my parents' house.
That's
Dang
right.
it, I forgot.
No,
I
we
didn't
can
write
save
it down.
that. We can save that. It's cool that we got into all of this.
Yeah. It's basically, we can title the podcast Love Island Labubus and Love in the Afterlife. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, like Labubus,
Love Island,
and Soulmates or something like
It
that.
has to be an L for alliteration.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And life.
Triple L. Life.
And life.
Life in the afterworld.
And life, question mark.
And life?
I don't
Question
know.
mark? I don't know.
Live, laugh, Labubu. Love Island.
Live Love Island Labubus. Oh, also I went to VidCon last week.
We talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah, because we talked about Labubus.
That's right. What did
You
I
okay?
go into? Did I go into detail?
Not fully, but you
Oh
talked
no,
about...
I mentioned going to VidCon and Twitch. Yeah,
Do you want to talk about it?
No,
No, come on.
It wasn't that fun.
It's not going to be relevant next week.
Okay. Quickly, I just wanted to say VidCon has changed over time. You know, I remember going to the very first ones.
What year was that?
I don't know, 10, 12 years ago.
Okay. Whoa.
Well, this year they're celebrating the 20th year of YouTube. Next year is my 20th year of YouTube, which is insane. But this year is the 20th year of YouTube. Anyway, it's changed over time. It just seems like the target audience is like young kids now, which is fine. Which actually,
it was at that time too, wasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
I
maybe
felt
it was,
like
and I'm
when
just growing
I went
up.
in 2017, it was also geared towards younger than me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel
You're
like
right. We're
it's
just
always,
growing up.
I think we're just getting older. I think the age is just continuing to stay the same, and we're just getting older.
No,
Because
you're
if you
right.
think about it, when I went, the big popular YouTubers at that time, I remember that were getting mobbed. Bethany Moda, Lord DIY, and they're still. I mean, I don't know about Bethany. Is she still posting?
I remember in 2017, that was when we went.
That's when I went. Yeah.
But we also went before that.
Maybe it was 2016.
Maybe 2016.
Or maybe it was
No, I remember 2016. I ran into Liza Koshy, and she was just a Viner at the time, and she wasn't getting mobbed or anything at all. You know what I mean? She was at the food
and now
trucks.
she's...
Yeah. So anyway, it has changed. I don't know. I had this whole kind of when I was there, I was like, do I belong? Like, I just kept thinking these random thoughts, like, should I even be here? You know what I mean?
Really?
But then I was meeting people who were like, man, you're an OG. I met vendors who were like, hey, let me give you something for free. I'm such a big fan of your music. I've been listening since Juicebox, things like that. So that gave me some affirmation. But still, I was walking around like, dude, do I even belong here anymore? What is my place?
Oh, yeah, you do. I think you maybe feel that way because your content is different than what like the people who are like
doing big stuff. I know.
Stuff.
Yeah,
it's like you're not really doing the prank videos and all those things.
Yeah.
So, but your content is great.
Thanks, babe.
You're a musician.
Musician.
You're a musician, and just keep doing it.
Thank you. Okay, well, stay tuned for our next guest. It's going to be, actually, we won't say it because we're. It might be one of two, but
depending on when it comes out.
Yeah, and schedules. But the next one will be an old school YouTuber who I grew up making videos with and doing music with. That applies to both of them.
Yeah. Oh wait, true.
It does. So watch out for that.
Why did my voice crack? True.
But also, we have a big announcement that we are announcing on Wednesday. So tomorrow, if you're listening to this podcast on release day, let's say
Are we
it
gonna
together.
say it?
We'll just say it. Yeah.
Wait, but
we won't announce the details.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you've made it this far, you're getting a treat.
You're getting a treat.
Because no one knows this yet.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. We're going on tour
again. But this time,
it's just us.
It's just us, and
it's a Christmas tour.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and happy holiday. That's all we'll say for now, but please go on our social media and
when it comes out. Okay, wait. If you listen this far, let's have them do an emoji, but don't make it too obvious.
Yeah.
So it can't be a Christmas tree.
No, it should be tickets. Like type in tickets, like that ticket emoji.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good one.
And should we enter them in a giveaway?
Do a giveaway?
Yeah. If whoever does a ticket.
Yeah, we'll give you tickets. But
no, we can't give them tickets. We don't know yet. Yeah, we don't know where they are in the world.
We can't do a giveaway right now. We can do a giveaway right now.
I was going to just like maybe send them a nice message.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can, yeah.
I just love giveaways. I freaking love giveaways.
Tickets will go on sale this Friday.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm just saying it. I'm just going to say it. Yeah.
Okay.
So stay tuned because that's very exciting news. And we're going to say that we have an announcement today, and people will probably think we're announcing pregnancy or something, but you'll know the real deal.
Okay. With that being said, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
Well, before I say that, check out, don't forget to follow and subscribe and write a good review.
Yeah, please.
We need some good reviews.
Yep. And follow Sweet or Savory Pod.
Sweet or Savory Pod. We're trying to get a Spotify sponsorship, guys.
Yeah, come on.
Please help us out.
Please, Spotify.
Love you.
Love you.
Stay sweet.
Or savory. and maybe spicy next time.
Spicy.
Spicy. Wing, 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 wing. Love you, babe.
Love you too. Bye.